Got a secret, can you keep it? Swear this one you say. Better lock it in your pocket. Taking this one to the grave. If I show you, then I know you won't tell what I say. 'Cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. 'Cause two can keep a secret. 'Cause two can keep a secret. 'Cause two can keep a secret. One of them is dead.
So the second season of HBO's Pretty Little Liars is coming out in a little over a week. And I thought the first season was fantastic, so I felt the need to talk about it and urge more people to check it out. As a woman in my 20s, I, like most of the cast, grew up on the original. I was a huge fan of PLL up until around the reveal that Allie was alive, and then I started to loathe the show because Alison De Laurentiis is an insufferable and evil person. You cannot change my mind. Anyway, the point is that HBO's version is a huge upgrade, trading in some of the melodrama to become a slasher. So you may be wondering how HBO's Pretty Little Liars exists in this Liars universe when the original show had its own failed spin-off, and if we exclude that from canon, the series finale teased that the cycle was going to continue with another group of girls. HBO's PLL ignores all of that. The show opens in 1999, where a bunch of high school students are attending a rave. One girl, Angela Waters, begs for someone to help her, and when no one responds, she commits suicide in front of everyone, jumping to her death. The show then shifts to 2022, where the daughters of 5 girls who had attended said rave, the Liars, are brought together, and they soon become the targets of a mysterious figure who goes by the name of A. Now, I love a mystery where the narrative slowly gives you the pieces, and HBO's PLL is excellent at that. As A taunts both the mothers and the daughters, we see key memories of Angela from the mothers' perspectives, while the Liars investigate the events leading up to Angela's death. If you enjoy mystery stories, this will certainly keep you guessing, and the way everything just clicks together when you get those final slivers of information. It is pure excellence. I also love that this show is a slasher because it makes the stakes way higher than the original show. A has already killed 2 people by the end of episode 2, as well as indirectly leading to the death of a third person. Meanwhile, I think the first murder A commits in the original show is in season 4. There's just a constant tension and looming threats beyond A that the girls have to deal with. Besides this difference in tone, another big difference is the formation of the Liars. In the original, a fractured friend group comes back together once they start receiving A's messages. In this iteration of the story, the girls come from different cliques and end up in detention together after they've all been accused of harassing the popular mean girl, Karen Beasley. The girls rant about how they were blamed for actions they didn't commit and express a deep frustration that Karen seems to always be able to get away with her terrible behavior, leading to Imogen, Karen's ex-best friend, floating the idea of destroying Karen's social status and forcing her to leave the girls alone once and for all. Now, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's kind of impossible to discuss the show in any capacity without discussing the events of episode 2. So I'm going to give a very quick breakdown. After some hesitation, the Liars release a video of revenge porn against Karen. Feeling utterly humiliated, Karen unsurprisingly wants to get back at the girls, more specifically Imogen. Upon Karen confronting Imogen for making this video public, Imogen insists it was payback over the incidents that led to the Liars being sent to detention. Karen is genuinely confused at the accusation that she committed those acts, as we, the viewer, know that it was actually A. Karen and her twin Kelly plan to embarrass Imogen at the school homecoming dance, but before this act of revenge can come to fruition, A intervenes and kills Karen. Or is it Kelly? A does not do this as a way to save the Liars. No, it is a warning to get them to comply with his demands. This is the moment the girls really fortify their bond, as it's when they become aware of A's presence. So good. So iconic. Are you in disbelief that something so huge happened in the second episode? There are plenty more twists and turns, bigger shocks and reveals. It's so fucking good. I love this show so much. Let me introduce the girls before I go any further with my gushing. Imogen, the unofficial leader of the group, is basically Nancy Drew. She's really smart and passionate and determined, and when she starts digging into a mystery, she won't stop until she's figured it out. Sometimes this leads to somewhat reckless decisions, like investigating the abandoned warehouse where the rave happened by herself. Definitely not advisable. She was formerly part of the popular crowd, but has become a social outcast after her falling out with Karen, and shortly afterwards she became pregnant. She is very close to Tabby, with the two of them becoming each other's confidants, as they live together after Imogen's mother commits suicide. Tabby is a feminist cinephile and aspiring director. She is also the most likely to call out someone's bullshit. She's very headstrong and known for pushing back against people when she thinks they are being unfair. Similar to Imogen, she has trouble dropping things when she starts to dig for answers, but she's a bit more cautious than Imogen is. Also, not canon, but I am claiming her as a fellow autistic lesbian given her constant movie references and her style. Farron. Oh my god, where to start about Farron? What a powerhouse. She's a ballerina and a perfectionist thanks to her mom's extremely high standards. As we learn about halfway through the season, she's also disabled, dealing with chronic pain as a result of a surgery she underwent to try to correct her scoliosis. She's a bit more reluctant to open up to the girls at first, as she's used to the cutthroat ballet world and most of the adults in her life have made it hard for her to show vulnerability. She's tough and brave and bold, being the only liar to question whether the twin who survived is actually Kelly, which she does to her face, and also being the only liar willing to stand up to the twins' father, Sheriff Beasley. And something that I really love that this show does is that even when Farron does these things, we see that she is terrified and putting on a brave face. Like the scene where she goes to the station to confront Sheriff Beasley, we see her calmly leave his office, and then once she reaches the hallway, we can see that she is hyperventilating. Like, Zarya, the actress you are. Farron is my number one. Truly, I love her so much. Noah is an athlete who is currently on house arrest. We learn that she's on house arrest for drug use, which was actually her covering for her mom. Noah's home life is unstable as her mom's addiction means she is often unreliable, but Noah remains loyal to her mom, even to her own detriment. Mouse is very technologically savvy, and she is extremely introverted, although that is mostly because her two moms are quite overprotective. While she loves her parents, it becomes clear that she is yearning for a father figure, as she has a habit of reaching out to men whose children have gone missing, something she started as a way of dealing with the trauma of almost being abducted as a child. She's the most anxious of the liars, even offhandedly mentioning that she hates horror movies. And lastly, I have to discuss the Beasley twins. Karen was popular and feared, while Kelly usually went unnoticed. She went along with all of Karen's schemes, even being the mastermind behind some of them herself. As it becomes clear very quickly, they have a dysfunctional home life due to their father being abusive. While Karen molded herself into a copy of her father, Kelly tried to play peacekeeper and keep her head down. Kelly has a lot of self-doubt and tends to blame herself, sometimes resulting in self-harm, while Karen always self-victimizes and blames others. It's truly fascinating to see how the surviving twin deals with the loss of her sister and how being in the orbit of the liars alters her as a person. I just truly love each and every one of the girls for being so multifaceted and distinct. Part of why it's so satisfying to see these girls become a found family is because they are just all so different from each other. But as they bond, they become extremely supportive and loyal to each other and inspire each other to be brave. I mean, there's a scene where the liars decide to track down A because Noah has some butcher knives when they know of two murders that A has committed. Like, this is unhinged behavior. You watched A kill one of the Beasley twins, you got texted a photo of another body, but this group of 5 teenage girls think they can take down this stalking murderer. Unhinged. I love it though. I love my girls. And on top of watching these friendships form, it's also really lovely to see multiple healthy and supportive romances. Since prior to the events of the show, Noah has been dating a football player, Sean, who is a far cry from the arrogant, misogynistic jock stereotype, although that character does appear in the show as well. Farron bonds with a ballerino, Henry, who is the first person to express concern about her chronic pain and is a constant source of encouragement. I love Farron and Henry so much. If the writers were in this relationship, I will come for blood. And then there's Mouse and Ash. Mouse and Ash start talking after he notices her looking at the poster for his school club, Spectrum, and their relationship quickly deepens as they start to spend some time together. The final aspect I would like to discuss, one of my favorite things about this show, is that it is very clear that there are tons of women involved in creating it. One thing that seems to make or break this show for viewers is that it very explicitly confronts rape culture. From every adult condemning the revenge porn video made of Karen, to Tabby's attempt to make a short film that reframes the rape-revenge genre, to a misogynistic dickhead getting murdered by A after he ranted about, quote, feminazis, to the song Monster Mash, no less. What an iconic scene. To Tabby and Imogen confiding in each other about their own assaults. It can definitely be a bit heavy-handed at times, but I think the show expertly depicts the trauma of such a violation, as well as how these constant sexist microaggressions are a form of violence in themselves. There's so much more that I would love to gush about. Like, I can't even talk about one of my favorite dynamics because those two characters don't start bonding until the second half of the season, and it's just too spoilery. It's a fantastic show. It's so unique and surprising, and things are just always in flux. I love this show so much, and I am fully serious when I say that it's one of the best shows currently airing, and I think it is genuinely one of the all-time best pieces of horror media. I just had to gush about this show because it is severely underrated, and I'm desperate for more people to talk about it. If you're a fan of the show, or you want to check it out after listening to this, please feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear other people's thoughts. Keep talking about Palestine. It is 205 days into the Israeli army committing genocide. Keep talking about Sudan and Congo. Please donate to one of the links in the bio, or if that's not possible for you, keep protesting and sharing updates. Things should never have been able to progress this far, but we can and will put an end to this. Also, please stay safe and healthy. COVID rates are still pretty high in many places, and bird flu is starting to become a concern as well. Please be careful when consuming animal products. You want dairy items to be pasteurized, and you want to thoroughly cook any meat you consume. Please continue masking or start masking again if you've stopped. There was a new vaccine that was made for recent COVID variants back in September, so now is a good time to get a booster or to get it for the first time. Hopefully I'll catch you again soon, and have a great rest of your day. Bye!